Hi, Mindy. So nice to see you.
Yeah, great to see you.
Do you realize that we met 10 years ago
Really?
on Twitter?
I didn't even realize I was like on Twitter 10 years ago.
I didn't either, actually. I said the same exact thing. Do you believe that's 10 years?
No, and then we went to the Met Gala probably, what was that, like 6 years ago, maybe?
I guess.
That's incredible. Yeah, that is a long time.
I know. So what are you doing for the holidays yourself? I guess socially, in a socially distanced way.
In a socially distanced way. Well, for Thanksgiving, I decided that with my, because I have a 3-month-old, but I don't know why I wanted to do this, but I wanted to prove to myself or to my immediate family or something that like I could cook like a 6-course Thanksgiving meal and have 2 kids just to prove that I was like a super mom or something. And then I was like, never again. So I think I'm probably going to order food in and just watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with my daughter and hang out with my baby.
Did you do your tree yet?
Yes, we did the tree. And I had pictured, I was like, oh, me and my, almost 3-year-old daughter will bond together and do
With
the
Christmas music.
Oh, everything, the Burl Ives playing Hot Cocoa. She hated it, didn't want anything to do with it, but it was good because then I could like put a little vodka in the hot cocoa and just like.
That always happens. I always have this image of what that will be with my boys. And it's like, Christmas 50 years ago.
Yeah.
It turns out to be a little different. Our tree this year is tiny and crooked and will be planted. I wanted to remember this year. And so we're going to plant it somewhere on our place. Yeah, I think it'll be good. It's not the best looking tree I've ever seen, but at least it'll be a memory of 2020.
So I would think in my mind, knowing you and knowing what your husband's profession is too, that you guys have a very like curated tree.
Oh my God, the opposite. Are you kidding?
Really?
More is more on a Christmas tree. That's how I grew up.
My dad is a big Patriots fan because we're from Boston. So the most divisive ornament is we have a Tom Brady ornament. And
I love that. But is it a picture? How does that work?
What a picture. It's not like a framed picture of it.
That's hysterical.
It's just like a little figurine of him throwing a football, but I don't even know where we got it. But the other one we have is a Anna Wintour ornament.
Oh, wow.
It's like shiny with her glasses and the haircut and everything. And I always, when I take her out and put her back, I'm always like ultra careful with that.
And any traditions that you have for Christmas?
What's fun about when you have your own kids is you can kind of make stuff up and then just decide that you're going to do that every single year. And so this year, what I think we're going to do is my daughter and I are going to make cookies and apple cider, and we're going to be in the kitchen. And then her godfather is BJ Novak, and he is going to show up. He's going to show up and go to our living room where the tree is in a Santa costume.
Oh.
Now, just so you know this, like we're Hindu and BJ is Jewish, so this is really
it's good. Multicultural.
Yeah, well, this is like cultural appropriation on our part. They're Christians. And
has he done it before, or is this the first year?
No, but so because this year we couldn't go to we have the little outdoor mall, the Grove, that has Santa, and my daughter loved that this year. She's the one kid that doesn't cry and scream. And so because we can't do that this year, I was bummed out she couldn't see Santa. So this is the whole ruse that we're going to do. And this might become a tradition. We're going to be baking cookies. And then all of a sudden we're going to hear bells from another room. And I'm going to go, Kit, what do you think that is? And then we're going to go over to the living room where we hear bells. And BJ, as dressed as Santa, is going to be asleep on the sofa with a bag because he needed to take a rest. Tory, it's so complicated why Santa was there, why he's taking a rest. But we're going to do that. And then she's gonna sit. We're like, will she know it's him on some level? We don't know. But
that's so cute. I mean, I miss those days. My boys are now men. I mean, my youngest one is 19.
Wait, is your house packed right now, or are like all the kids back?
So we've had different iterations of them. For the actual quarantine, I had a packed house. And it was, I packed a little suitcase and thought I'd go for a week. And of course, one of my boys said, oh my God, I'm not staying there more than 3 days. And 4 months later, we're looking at each other at the same dinner table and shaking our head. So what is your daughter want for Christmas? She believes in Santa, right?
She believes in Santa. Right now, she's pretty tomboyish. Yeah, I think I'm going to get her some Hot Wheels.
That's so cute. I was such a tomboy. I relate to that.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And my boys, having 3 boys, it's like all I know basically.
Yeah. She's a little ambivalent about her little brother. So we have to do that thing where Spencer, who's 3 months old, like, oh, he bought you a gift. Look at it. So I'm like, I'm doing that thing where like I'm wrapping presents for my children, presents from my children to the other child.
So cute.
Then like their grandfather, my dad is like, hey, can you wrap this for us? So I'm just like do you remember growing up, you'd go to this department store and there'd be like that one lady who had a little box where she would just like wrap presents and you drop them off.
Of course.
So I'm her now.
I remember that. I also remember my mom wrapping until like 3 a.m, Christmas Eve. I have 3 brothers, but one of them's a year and a half older. So we would fight all the time. And he would always come down on Christmas morning and act like he had the most presents, always. And so one Christmas, the night before, I went around the house and I literally wrapped anything I could find, like an egg beater, a bowl, a brick, a log, and put it on his pile. And so we walked down and it looked like he was just, the king of the land and had this giant, giant pile. And then he was opening just household goods. He was very upset. Those are the type of things that we would do growing up.
I love that.
So Mindy, do you have any New Year's resolutions? Is that an annoying question?
No, I think it's a great question. So I had a nanny who I adored who later left to become a professional card reader. Like she reads your cards.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah, it's a tarot card. So she was always very like mystical, and I actually liked that element in my home. And so she always said, for New Year's, you should make a vision board and just put it on the back of your door, and it just so we got, like I was a 5th grader, I got like one of those for a science project, like one of those big pieces of colored construction boards. And then she said, just cut out pictures from magazines. So I cut out a picture of an Oscar. Like, it's so embarrassing. I mean, Tory, it's what I did instead of resolutions, but I did a picture of like an Oscar. I did a picture of a beach because I really wanted a beach house. I did, it's a lot of, I won't even go into more because it's like just too embarrassing. But what ended up happening was I put it in the back of my door, and then every time I would walk by it for the next couple months, none of it had come true. And so it became like it was taunting me. Like I would see the picture of like, this beautiful beach, or, my Oscar and all these other things that I wanted to have. And then about 6 months later in June, when none of it had happened, I actually grabbed it and like tore it up and threw it away because it was bothering me so much. So I tend not to make those resolutions because when they don't come true or I'm not able to do them, I get, it like pisses me off.
Another question, because I missed traveling a bit. I miss my friends. There's certain things that you just miss. But so what will be the first place you'll go when you can start traveling?
Okay, well, so there's big things and there's small things. Like you said, I miss my friends. So as much as I, obviously on my bucket list, I always go to New York at least 4 times a year. I miss that. Yeah. I miss, I wanted to go to South Africa. Before my kids start going to school full time, I wanted to try living someplace for like 6 months, whether it's like London or Paris. So I missed kind of the opportunity of doing that. But honestly, if I was really being honest, I just want to go to like Barney Greengrass and go shopping with my friends and then get drinks. Like, yes, there's like beautiful, cool locations, but I just want to get like lunchtime wasted with a friend over a big salad and cookies. Like, it's
very funny you say that. Mine was JG Mellon. I really just going to get a bloody bull and hanging out at JG Mellon, my favorite place for a cheeseburger.
I know, and I miss like a hugging, and like, I didn't realize how much I touched my friends. Like,
I know.
Like
there's a game we play, word association. I bet you're probably the best at it. Okay, I'll give you the words. Elf.
Will Ferrell.
Eggnog.
Eggnog, like spiked coffee, by putting eggnog in coffee.
Matching sweaters.
Gross. I don't love that. I don't love that look.
Best prank.
Stapler and Jell-O from The Office.
I like it. I like it.
Wait, so Tori, what do you want for Christmas?
Oh my gosh, where do I begin? I want world peace. Is that a no, I mean, listen, I used to hear my mom say, you're as happy as your least happy child. And now that you're a mother, you will understand that more as they get older, but there's nothing more true than that statement. And my kids are all happy as I'm like knocking on wood right now. So
Yeah.
I could not ask for a
Wow.
thing, not one thing. Tell me about you. What do you want?
Well, I love that, you know, your mother obviously looms so large in all of your work, but that's like such an incredibly correct observation. I so relate to that. And my kids are obviously so little. I mean, I think you're so like generous that you said world peace. I wish that my dad and my stepmom would get the vaccine sooner than later. And I'm so, you know, obviously grateful for the scientists who came up with that and all the first responders and everything. I gotta say, I already kind of have what I want for Christmas. Tori, can you tell us a little bit about this?
That's so amazing. Thank you. Well, that's our foundation seed box, and it highlights so many of our entrepreneurs' beautiful work. And I have to say, when we sell out every Christmas, and it really shows how extraordinary women are. And honestly, having people like you, Mindy, in the world to be incredible role models for women. No, seriously, I mean it very sincerely.
I love this. I love this too. Empowered women empower women. That's so true. And Tori, always do that. Wait, can I just like point out some of these awesome things?
Yes, please.
The seed box is such a great gift for anybody in your life because it contains these incredible products. Okay, we have great shapes, a 500-piece puzzle. This is so chic. Ooh, I think I'm pronouncing this Nguyen coffee supply. Southern Elegance. This is a handcrafted in small batches. This candle that smells absolutely incredible. Made to last organic Kushu hair elastics, like cosmetic or jewelry pouch in such a fun color blue. There's endless gifts in here. It's so good. Wow. This is 5 cleansing facial wipes. I love this gift. I think it's like a great way to like share like luxury items, but also be like, I'm a feminist and I wanted people to, you know, to know. And
women I really believe if we had more women in leadership roles, we would be in a different place in the world. And I see that happening. So I'm incredibly hopeful. These are all incredible women in business. And I have to say, they're extraordinary.
That's awesome. Well, I know I'm going to buy a bunch of seed boxes for the people in my life. I love that you do
Thank you, Mindy. Thank you for everything. And Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Tori. Mwah.